Hola a todos y bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de Tangle Tower. Estamos justo donde lo dejamos y vamos a seguir explorando la parte de los Fellows. Solo nos queda esta habitación, así que vamos a ella, que creo que es la de Félix, ¿puede ser? Ah, vale, creo que sí es Félix. Sí. El taller. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Mapitas? Bueno, mapas. He visto un tarro verde. Tarro verde, venga, dame.
A little hand-painted statue.
No, no es eso lo que quiero ver.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Las pinturas son exactamente iguales que... Bueno, a ver, espérate. Vamos por partes. Maqueta pintada. Una talla de madera de un hombre sosteniendo una espada. La maqueta está pintada a mano, pero con poca destreza. Cerca se encontraron pinturas de color amarillo, azul, negro y blanco. El rojo. Amarillo, azul, negro y blanco. Los mismos colores de pintura, pero esto es sangre y el bote se corresponde a los botes del taller. Vale. Un cuerno.
It's a drinking horn.
Un cuerno de
Is it full
beber.
of ale? Or...
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
Vale. Este mapista.
A map with a dotted line and an X marked on it.
That's a very boring way to describe a treasure map.
Está durmiendo, ¿verdad? Porque le oigo roncar al señor. Vale, esto...
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it.
Vale. Y eso
What's
significa
the deal with that painting on the
puzzle.
front?
La pintura...
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
Usa el mapa del tesoro para descubrir la combinación del candado del cofre. Ah. No te muevas, tío, que me raya. Vale, espera, creo que lo he pillado, No. No he pillado, no. Porque aquí tenemos... norte, sur, este, oeste. Y este, vale. Norte, sur, este y oeste. Porque, a ver, si pongo A1 sur, ¿qué es A1 sur? Si la casilla A1 es esta. Porque A1 sur es A1 sur.
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Ya, veo esto. Vale, tenemos dragoncito, X, palmera, montaña y pájaros. Vale, I2 oeste puede ser. Vale, y 2 oeste.
Still locked.
I
No.
think there's a connection between the paintings. Like they're different versions of the same thing.
A ver, vamos a probar con H6 sur, maybe. A ver, H6 sur,
That was
The padlock's just a grid reference.
H6 este,
That was
The padlock's just a grid reference.
H6 norte,
That was
The padlock is just a grid reference.
H6 oeste,
There we go.
H6 oeste.
Perfect.
Vale. Lo he hecho un poco a voleo.
What was in the box?
¿Qué hay en la
More
caja?
models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Se me abren cosas, no quiero, ciérrate. Vale, esta es Freya. Cosas. Vale. A ver. Una maqueta que se parece a un niño con el pelo verde, esa es Freya. Una maqueta que se asemeja a una mujer con canas, que es Flora. una maqueta que se parece a un pájaro rojo y blanco, una maqueta que se asemeja a un varón de anchos hombros. Esto y el pájaro no sé quién es, pero esta es la pintura que le falta a Freya. Las maquetas de madera han sido pintadas a mano, la pintura se ha aplicado con poca destreza. Cerca hay un tarro de pintura roja y un pincel. El pincel tiene ahí aún un poco de pintura roja seca. Vale. Muchas cosas colgando. La
It
tierra,
was made of paper and gave off a gentle pink light.
que ojalá fuera así.
Puffer fish?
Yes, it's also a lamp, for some reason. A lot of redundant light sources in here. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure. That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so.
Vale, una hamaca.
A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in.
Un reloj.
It's a barometer,
Ah.
but it's broken.
Barómetro.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
¿Qué es esto?
The entire room is made of wood.
Sí.
Oh, it's not just made of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
The entire room is made of
Oh,
wood.
it's not just it's the
Vale,
actual.
¿qué es esto? Un tótem.
He's an imp.
Diablillo.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh,
Oh, maravilloso.
a pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit night.
Mood.
Dice mood y pone
An
tristón.
old wooden mask.
Me recuerda al Zelda, no sé por qué.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just the actual.
Vale, esto es un espejito.
A little mirror.
Definitely cursed.
It's not cursed.
Esta
Everything
tía
is
que se ha
cursed.
fumado hoy. Vale,
The entire room is
vale, grazie.
shelf junk.
Hola, señor. ¿Es usted Félix?
Sir?
Sir?
Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I
Está
have
un
some
poco
questions for you.
dormido.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally
Sí,
speaking,
súper,
you
súper,
know,
gracias.
That sort of thing.
Vale, sobre
So,
ti.
Felix, what exactly do you...
Figuritas de madera haces, quizás por casualidad.
Is it not obvious?
Ah, sí, súper
I'm
obvio.
an explorer slash treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long.
Para nada estaba sobando
Wherever
ahí.
the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
don't misunderstand me.
Fiona,
Fiona
Fifi.
and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
Porque ha muerto
The murder
alguien.
of Freya Fellow. The reason
Quizá.
we're here.
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help. But I wish you all the
Pero que me
best
cuente que
in your
hiciste ayer, cacho
investigation.
cerdo.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself.
Me recuerda a mí cuando me preguntan qué hiciste ayer. Yo.
Working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything
Tal vez un grito
unusual?
que no pareciera
What
humano.
qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
No habla este
It
señor.
was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain as life itself.
La boca. Esto es más cuentacuento que explorador, ¿eh? Me gusta que el fondo no es... No son el papelito de líneas que te ponen con los otros.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine. I
Ah, no,
heard
ahora ya.
someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Vale.
The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway.
¿Y quién
I
es?
got a glimpse
Poppy.
of
Poppy, querida, estás en todas
disappearing down
partes.
the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So
Close
I
lovers,
went to
¿sabes?
his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window.
La lógica de este señor es... Veo como la amigui de este tío baja por las escaleras, entonces me voy a colar en la habitación de él. Sí.
Back in the hallway, I bumped
Penelope.
into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor.
Vale, aquí ya se lían mucho las declaraciones, porque en la declaración de este señor no está Flora, no están Fritz, Fifi, ni el profesor Pointer, creo que era, y tampoco está Poppy. En la declaración de este señor ya cambian un montón las cosas. Lo de que sube con Penélope sí que es verdad, sí que lo han dicho el resto de personas.
Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already.
Vale, me he adelantado.
Flora too, of course.
Vale, ya estaban allí. Fiona también, vale. Es que me adelanto mucho.
Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
Vale. ¿Qué me cuentas de tu
Dearest
mujer?
Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Vale, a Flora le gustan los pájaros. Ha dibujado aquí, bueno, ha dibujado. Ha hecho el señor una figurita con... eran Freya, Fiona, un pájaro y una persona que no conocemos o que al menos no he podido identificar. Entonces, el pájaro pasa tiempo con Flora. Le he dado atrás, a lo mejor me he saltado algo que iba a decir este señor. Por si acaso le voy a dar, si no es nada, pues nada.
Dearest Flora, a
You two still get on?
Of course.
She hasn't gone.
It's true. She's the youngest.
Lone wolf.
She just
Other humans?
well, yes, other people, you know.
Vale, nada.
You're
Felix?
the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
Hawkshaw.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Orden de la capa carmesí.
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know,
Sí, capitas.
red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle.
El escarabajo dorado.
Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
Freya.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
Sobre todo después de que... Porque Fifi nos ha dicho que a lo largo del último año Freya se hizo más independiente y como que cambió. Y que Flora ocurrió algo hace poco, un año más o menos supongo, y que dejó de hablar
How are
definitivamente.
you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all.
Vale, o sea que hubo un problema con Freya.
There's a family tree in the
Sí,
grand hall.
listo.
You
No lo voy a
should
mirar
take a
más, a
look
no
at
ser que
What about
tenga
her
líos.
inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
O sea que no vivía
Nobody
aquí.
left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
O sea que estaba aquí pero no le pertenecía nada.
Fitz? I don't trust him.
¿Por
He's
qué?
slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
Vale.
Did you
Esto
two
me ha
have an
gustado.
argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman.
Vale.
My
Fifi.
daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
Yes.
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi.
¿Y me la vas a
over
decir?
Fiona.
Tal vez.
Oh, yeah.
¿Me la dices? ¿Eh?
It's what Freya called her.
Me ha puesto triste.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
Flora.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a fresh start.
Ya, yo creo que sí que tiene significado, la
This
verdad.
really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings.
Vale.
After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, yes, less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
Expediente del
What's
caso.
this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Sí.
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but
Remington.
I can't recall.
Vale. La cartita.
I'm as confused as you are.
¿Por qué cuando les doy la carta siempre dicen sospechoso, no sé qué?
It would have been a beautiful painting.
Que no tiene sentido por motivos que ya he dicho antes en capítulos anteriores.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
¿Qué es lo que ves
You
tú?
don't.
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
Vale. Vale, espérate. Ahora vuelvo a hablar contigo. Necesito ver esto. ¿Y si lo que está sujetando Freya no es un cuchillo, sino es una pluma de este pájaro? Porque es blanco y es rojo. Bueno, espérate. ¿Y si no es un cuchillo, sino que es una pluma? Maybe. Yo lo veo posible, la verdad.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
Sangre sí, sangre es muy común.
Pass. Given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall.
Gramófono.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
Vale.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Sí.
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Vale,
That
fruto
looks like it
maceta.
might belong to Fitz. I've never seen that before.
Vale.
Looks valuable.
Parece valioso.
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd.
Vale, si dices que raro es porque sabes que no es ahí, sabes dónde estabas. Me acabo de fijar también lo que acabo de decir sobre la pluma. Si nos vamos al libro, aparte de que, bueno, vamos a mirar la pluma. La pluma tiene toda la pinta del cuchillo que se supone que es un cuchillo. Luego, si miramos bien esto, tiene la cabeza y la cola de ese color. Y si nos vamos a la maqueta, la cabeza y la cola. Este pájaro de aquí que está al lado de Flora es el mismo pájaro que está en el libro y la pluma del libro es algo que puede sustituir a lo que la gente piensa que es el cuchillo.
Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
Nos ha dicho que es un telescopio.
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you
Sí,
know why the pots are cracked?
¿por qué
down
están
one
rajados y
side?
por qué este es tuyo?
That's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that.
Vale, quiero mirar, vale, porque estos están rotos. Estoy saliendo y entrando todo el rato, pero necesito comprobar cosas. Estos están rotos y estos están perfectos. Vale, algo... Espera. El libro, el pájaro. Vale, dice algo de que este bicho grite o ataque de alguna forma. Inteligente, vale. No pone nada. Porque si se rompió el gramófono, se rompieron las pinturas, todo tuvo que suceder al mismo tiempo. Entonces no sé qué pudo haberlo roto. La única cosa que puede entrar y salir sin ser por la puerta puede ser el pájaro.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think
¿Por
it's a
qué no
secret
querrían
diary.
que lo leyeran?
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
Dibujitos de
Freya
Freya.
was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not?
Sí.
It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. My daughter Fiona and her best friend, they grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea. I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you
Sí,
can
sí,
see.
super mastered.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course, I own a great many.
Espadas,
But
¿eh?
my weapons are stored well away from Tangle.
Vale, me dices dónde, dirección, cómo llegar.
Safety first and all that.
Y las
I
maquetitas.
found it. What do you think, huh?
Precioso, ¿pero qué es?
Final touches a little bit.
Vale, ahora me explicas, cariño. ¿Este pájaro qué es? ¿Por qué está aquí? ¿Quién es este señor? ¿Y por qué tienes la pintura de Freya? Paso a
It
paso.
turned out all right, though.
No me vas a contar nada,
What's
¿verdad?
it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course.
Sí, Flora.
Surrounded by all her favorite people.
Y sus personas favoritas no eres tú. Tenemos a Freya, el pajarito y alguien que no sé quién es. Porque ese alguien puede ser el padre de Fitz. Lo digo más que nada porque como tiene la barba... Ay, no quería. Como tiene la barba... Lo que viene a ser...
There's something about Felix's paintings.
Gracias por darte cuenta, por favor. Hay algo en los materiales de pintura de Félix. Algo
Let's
sospechoso.
ask him about it.
Ahora, como que luego.
There's something about the image of Flora.
Vale, por favor, atad cuadros que yo los tengo. O sea, cuadros. ¿Cómo se dice? Ah, cabos, que yo lo tengo. Algo en la imagen de... Vale,
Let's ask her
sospechoso.
about it.
Y vamos ahora. Vale, tengo estos dos sitios, vamos a hacerlito. Hacerlito, ¿por qué hablo tan mal? Vamos a hacerlo ahora. Hola. Sospecha.
So, this painting,
Este cuadro.
specifically that knife in
No es un
Flora's
cuchillo, yo
Yeah,
creo que no es
it's
un
creepy.
cuchillo.
But we didn't
Es
find
una
a knife
pluma.
anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
El asesino no es un cuchillo. No es un
hand.
cuchillo.
It's not a knife.
No es un cuchillo.
We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape
El
actually
libro.
is.
El libro. Esto.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Dime que sí. Vale, a ver. Esto es esto. Vale, una pluma. Y esto es esto. El cuchillo pintado es en realidad una pluma de un pájaro baño tinta.
Knife is actually just a feather
Yasu.
from an ink dip bird.
¿Verdad?
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the
Sí.
ink-dip bird is red and white too?
Sí. Vale, esto aquí. Esto de aquí. Ay, me estoy emocionando
I don't
mucho.
understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
Porque le gustaba mucho el pájaro, yo qué sé. Vale. Vale. A ver. Atacó a Flora por lo que ella destruyó. Vale. Traicionó a Flora por lo que ella se comió. Era la mascota de Penny. ¿Quién coño es Penny? Era parte de los experimentos de Fifi. Era la mascota de Flora, vale. El pájaro bañotinta era la mascota de Flora, por eso ella guardó una sola pluma como para recordarlo, para enseñar a sus amigos, para destruir más tarde, para recordarlo.
The ink dip bird was
That.
Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe it flew away.
Este capítulo se me va a quedar largo, pero
Flora spends all
me
her
da igual.
time staring out the window.
By the
Porque
way, she
pensaba
kept
que
the feather.
volvería o algo
I
así.
think it was pretty important to her.
Sí.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her.
Sí.
But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she
También podría
does.
haberse ido por la ventana, no...
This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
¿Algún lugar donde... Vale, aquí, ¿no? ¿Algún lugar donde Flora suele guardar su pluma? Aquí, en el huevo dorado.
That we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty.
¿Vas a hablar? ¿Vas a hablar? ¿Vas a hablar?
Flora?
¿Flora? ¿Flora? ¿Flora?
There's
¿Flora?
something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not...
¿No son qué?
Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
Dibujo de Flora y un pequeño pájaro y un mensaje manuscrito en la parte trasera. Para ti con amor, Flora. Me está poniendo muy blandita. Vale. Hostias, por un momento empecé a escuchar doble. Vale, hemos deducido de esta. Tenemos más cositas. ¿Te puedo preguntar? Sí.
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies?
Las
You haven't
maquetas.
seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
¿Y el
I like
dibujo?
these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Vale. Y nos vamos con Félix. Hola Félix, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te encuentras, chavalín? Te voy a sacar deducciones sospechosas.
About this paint we found in your room.
Vale.
Nothing suspicious
Sí
about
que hay,
it.
cállate.
I used
Cállate.
it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
De tener pinturas que no son tuyas. La tapa no es el mismo color. El tarro de pintura no es tuyo.
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
De alguien llamado Freya.
It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
No.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something
Yo
to
tengo.
prove who it actually belongs to.
Vale. Algo que comparar directamente con el tarro de pintura roja. Que son las pinturas de Freya.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Vale. Esto de aquí, el tarro de pintura rojo de Freya. El tarro de pintura rojo de Freya. Fue robado y reemplazado por el tarro de pintura roja de Félix. No, mentira, el tarro de pintura roja de Freya. A ver, el tarro de pintura roja de Freya fue robado y reemplazado por el tarro de pintura roja de Félix. ¿Pero cambió las tapas para ocultarlo?
Freya's red paint pot
Vale.
was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya's supplies,
Y-
not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Y encima,
Why are you bothering me
Tú,
about paint anyway?
el tarro que tiene
And
Freya
none
es
of this
sangre.
is connected to your murder.
quien lo conecta dice, venga, te hago un esquema. ¿Por qué el hecho de que Félix robara el tarro de pintura de Freya tiene relevancia para el asesinato? Este tarro de pintura roja, de alguna manera se llenó de sangre. A ver, este tarro de pintura roja no contenía pintura roja. Después de que Freya lo usara para pintar a Flora, no.
contained no red paint after Freya used it to paint Flora. Nope.
No. Este tarro de pintura roja... De alguna manera se llenó de sangre.
This red paint
No.
pot was almost... maybe
Una
just
cosa.
This red paint
No.
pot almost... maybe just... This red paint pot was somehow filled with...
Ese tarro de pintura roja de
before
alguna
Freya
manera se
used
llenó
it
de
to paint
sangre. Antes
Flora.
Freya lo usaba para pintar a Flora.
That's definitely something.
Sí.
Right. Fine. Here's the story. I
Desembucha.
was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint.
Y dijo... ¿Sangre?
There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
Vale, tú entraste a su cuarto y su cuarto tiene huellas de barro. Pero tú no tienes huellas, o sea, no está manchado de
And the
barro.
paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday.
¿Cuándo es el cumple de Flora?
I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used a different color?
No.
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
Hay un señor con una flauta travesera por ahí por el barrio tocando a tope. Así que si escucháis una flauta travesera, es mi barrio.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Vale, no, espera. Te voy a enseñar, hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Te voy a enseñar el dibujillo.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know.
No lo sé.
Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
Vale. Pues lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Hemos averiguado un montón de cosas. Se me ha hecho muy largo el vídeo, no sé si lo habré dividido en dos y por lo tanto habré hecho 3 vídeos el mismo día. No lo sé. Hemos descubierto un montón de cosas, hemos atado muchos cabos que yo necesitaba ya atar, que el juego se diese cuenta de que ya se podía atar esos cabos. Y no sé, como que me está gustando mucho lo que está pasando. Y no sé. Decidme vosotros qué pensáis. Si os ha gustado, dadle a like, comentar, suscribiros, hacer lo que queráis y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo. Adeu.